What? 1,000 shows for the year's over. 10,000 each show, do the math, over. Can't give you high fives, might catch corona. Don't let your daughter out the house, I just might bone her. Robbing niggas for the pounds, but I don't smoke it. Niggas buy when we need endorse. Looking forward to robbing scammers and them black Porsches. I'd rather rob a millionaire than some crack sharks. I take those crackers off your plate like someone just ordered. Them alley rats is in my way, don't want me going.
I'm Rick James. I'm not Rick James, I'm Rell Dibiase.
All right, we're going to test this out. It's your girl Dre. You already know what it is. The Royal Playlist, TRP, Fresh Faces. Today we got
Rell Dibiase.
in the house. We in Brooklyn. You already know what's up. How was the performance?
Performance was stellar. You know, I rocked the crowd, even with the crowd leaving. Some of them was there. I made it what it was. Whoever was there, support is free. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you like performing,
I
obviously.
love performing.
Okay.
I like stages with thousands of people in the audience and the crowd attending. I love that. I love that because I don't come from a place where I was stage fright. I would usually get up and do other things in front of many people. So me rapping in front of many people is not that big of a deal.
Got you. So no stage fright. You ain't scared.
No.
All right, cool. Where you from? Where you from?
I reside in the Bronx. I'm from Yonkers, New York, 914, Brown 14.
Born and raised, or?
Yes, born and raised,
All right.
Yonkers, New York.
Now, you know I got to ask these kind of questions. It's the Royal Playlist, right? If you had the chance to work with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
If I could work with Big Pun, that would have been lit. He's dead though, you know. Rest in peace. His birthday happened to be today,
Wow.
November 10th,
That's crazy.
on the day of my performance. I'm not just saying that because it's his birthday, but that's somebody who's one of the best ever to do it, you know.
Would you
I know
say
his
he's like an
rhymes
inspiration?
by heart.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Rest in peace to him. He's an inspiration. He's more than that. He's motivated. He would give you motivation the way a lot of rappers. He's really raw. He's authentic and he's real. The way he spit, he could spit in Spanish and English. He could freak it. He could make a rapper who speak only English whack. He could make you look like you don't rap.
When it comes to music, right? Do you write in the studio or you come prepared? Like how do you come about that normally?
Normally rappers don't give me the beat until I hit the studio when they're already recording their track. So then I get the beat late and then I get to the studio normally, usually.
Okay.
And then I record. Usually they're playing the song, rehearsing the song in the studio while I'm listening to them over the mic, over the studio speakers. I'm over here trying to tap into my inner thoughts and rap over their voice to the same beat they're playing. So it's not really like I get a chance to really sit home and write a 16, write a 20-bar verse or whatever. I really get to the studio and they already be working on their shit.
That doesn't seem fair.
It's a tactic. It's used against people who feel like they fear that you're gonna pass them or succeed them or whatever it is. They don't want you to do that. So
you feel like the game is a little tactical now, huh?
Yeah, it's very shiesty.
You have any new projects coming out that you're working on right now?
I'm working on a project called Turnpike, dealing with a New Jersey artist and New York artist only. Something with Cash Baby from Atlanta. She's from New Jersey, but she lives in Atlanta. And
Jersey in the house.
me and her have a tape, not yet recorded, but it's got to record it now.
Yeah.
And I have a campaign called Say Yes to Life I'm working on also with New Jersey and New York. But I'm just dealing with trying to put everything together, looking for resources, looking for you know, all type of outlets.
Tell me a little bit more about that campaign. What are you looking to do?
I'm looking to reach out to the elderly and the youth, trying to basically build a sanctuary for the youth, sanctuary for the elderly. Let them know that guns are not the way, the streets are not the way. You know, I'm trying to make a center for the kids because there's no more recreational centers for the kids. So I'm trying to make somewhere they can go after school program, somewhere they can have a career center, somewhere they can learn something, build a trade, actually, stay out the streets and build unity amongst each other instead of violence and chaos.
Wow.
Actually, get to know each other first and last names. You know what I mean? More graduations than funerals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a positive message that a lot of people need to hear at this time. So it sounds like you have bigger long-term goals than just the music industry, right?
Yeah, music industry is one vibration. This is a higher vibration.
Got you. You seem really passionate about your music, right? I can tell when you're performing, like what brings that passion out of you.
I think the game is lacking authenticity. I think the game is lacking authenticity. I think it's lacking raw, the truth, real. It's lacking, you know, the real way people really feel about things. I think it's just right now a lot of people are biting off each other. They're not using their own style. They need to work harder. They can sound like themselves. Music to me is like just your story, telling your stories. Very great storytellers like Slick Rick,
Right.
Nas, Biggie. So if you're not storytelling, it's not convincing me as an artist that you're living that life. It's not convincing me as an artist that this is really who you are. It's convincing me that you're just, another wannabe and another trying to be
Right.
somebody you're not. It's not you.
What do you think your music, like, what do you think the kind of energy it brings to the game?
Being that my music is authentic and it's real and it's raw, there's something I've been through in my life. There's a statute of limitations. I can't get locked up for what I'm saying. So it's things that I've already been through. Incarceration is one of them, and my music is just telling the facts. It's just telling, you know, what I've been through on me, what I went through myself. So it's not telling the story about everybody else. So my music brings a lot of my music. I wanted to be high vibration. I wanted to touch people. I wanted to make people feel good, and I'm working on that right now. I got to be patient because right now the game is really like focused on what they really want to hear. So you got to kind of put out what they really want to listen to.
Right.
It's not really what you want to put out. It's really what they want to listen to.
That balance.
You could put to please whoever's listening. That's the only way you get streams, and that's the only way you get buyers and sellers and people supporting you.
I mean, do you feel like real music dying out?
I feel like real music died when the people that was real died.
That was deep. Would you consider yourself a gatherer or a hunter?
Um,
And explain why, if you can.
I feel like I'm a gatherer.
Why is that?
I'm a gatherer because I like to see people come together for the better, for the bigger picture. I like to see people do things for a bigger cause. I like to see the bigger picture, like I said, and um, it does something for me when I see, other people, you know, they come together and they make something out of what they came together and built, like unity, a foundation, a brotherhood, a love. So I feel like I like gathering people together, they network, and I like resources. I like, you know, I like getting things in perspective and building with people. So I like to gather. And then, hunting on the other hand, you know, I guess you could call me that as well, but I don't really know if I'm really a hunter as much as I am a gatherer.
Right.
So
what makes you so passionate about bringing people together and uplifting the people and things that you want to do for the community, like you said, the program in which you want to?
Well, I was already a part of a community called Life Feet, and it's a Life Feet Nation, and like it was dancing my biggest inspiration. It was dancing because it kept me out of the streets, kept me out of trouble, drama, and everybody who danced was more brothers and sisters than their own household. It was more related without blood being necessary in DNA and all of that. They was related anyway.
Oh yeah.
Somehow we felt like we was already related without, having to share the same mother and father. And
Right.
we could fight and then next minute we dancing together or we eating and chilling together, hitting the trains, you know, trying to get to an event because the event costs this much money and your parents didn't give it to you. So what you do, you'll hit the trains and dance.
Right. Find
and
a
you'll
way.
get the money on the train and you'll go to an event with the money you made dancing on the train. And that's called co-riding. We call it co-riding because it was a
I've never knew about this.
It was a legendary person called D. Cole.
Okay.
And that was one of the biggest pioneers in Life Feet who put everything on the map for us on big stages on YouTube, got many views talking about hundreds of thousands of views for us. We've been getting hundreds of thousands of views back in 2004, 2005, 2006, all the way up to now.
Mm-hmm.
We was getting hundreds of thousands of views, millions now.
Wow.
So it's like D. Cole, his event cost $10. We used to hit the train. It's called Cole riding because D. Cole name is D. Cole. So we used to hit the train and get the money from hitting the train.
Wow.
And we call it Cole riding.
Wow.
So we would Cole ride, hit the train, get the money, go to the event. And it was legends like Kid Pat, C-Eazy, rest in peace.
Right.
You know, Leaf Mojo, Joe Smooth, Swiss,
Mm-hmm.
which is Mr. YouTube.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know,
A
there's
lot of
many
inspiration.
people, you know, that got light
Mm-hmm.
in D. Cole days. You know, I was coming up after them days, so I don't mention Hellboy because that's me, and I don't mention myself. So it was like, you know, I came up
You was
right
hearing them
after.
Hellboy, yeah?
I came up right after D. Cole. And, you know, thank you.
Giving them
Thank you,
Hellboy.
Thank you.
Oh my
Feel
God.
me?
And with that being said, you know, now my name is Rell Dibiase. I do
Right.
music. I'm on all platforms. You
Bet.
know what I'm saying?
All right, so where can we find your music? Now we talking about platforms.
I'm on Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music,
Mhm.
iTunes, Pandora, iHeartRadio, YouTube, IG, everywhere you go, gonna
Anywhere
find
and
me. You know
everywhere.
what I'm talking about?
Rell
I'm everywhere.
Dibiase.
Yeah, I just dropped 2 EPs in September this year, 2022, just to show my creativity. And you know, I just had a show tonight, you know what I'm saying? I did my thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, shut that shit down.
You know what I mean? In Brooklyn, New York, you know what I'm saying?
BK.
Coming straight from the Bronx.
I mean, so what message do you want to leave the people today? Like anything, any up and coming artists, any, you know, fans, any people that you want to inspire?
I do this for the people who support me, right? And the way this works is y'all support the artist so the artist can get a deal. He could get a bag. He can bring the bag back to the people who support him so they can have the privilege and never having to lift a finger and working again in their life. But the artist can't have you out of work forever if you don't have the artist on every stage supporting them behind them all
Right.
day, all times. There's no way that artist can leave the block, go get a bag, bring it back to the block who didn't help them get the bag. That's crazy. Y'all gotta help that process. Y'all part of that and y'all mean everything to that person.
Right.
I do this for Joe Smooth. He's a WWE wrestler. I do this for Leaf
Shout
Mojo. He's an NFL superstar. I do this for Drea, the journalist out of Jersey, coming to see me, support me, and show love to me.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people is not organized. I'm a very organized person. I would love to stay organized. The people around me and my entourage is organized. There's no dent in their armor. There's no chip on their shoulder. There's nothing missing from them. You know, so they're always gonna be sanctioned when it's time to go. But for you to be sanctioned when it's time to go, you gotta show love before I get there.
Absolutely.
You can't go. You wasn't there from the start.
Yep.
You can't go. You wasn't there from the start. You know what I'm saying? I don't wanna compete with people eating at the same table as me.
Right.
What you eat don't make me shit.
A great message to end off with. You heard what the man said. Follow him on all social networks. Rell Dibiase in the house. We in BK, New York in the building.
Merchandise. Rell_Dibiase. Rell_Dibiase is gonna pop up on the screen right there.
Yeah.
I just want the message to be, you know, I separate my music from my campaign. Say yes to life. Say yes to life. The high vibrational music is at a low vibration. We separate that because I want my music to touch the people who's listening, but I want my campaign to touch the elderly and the kids, and that's all this is about. This is a non-profitable organization.
Give
I'm
it
working
up.
myself.
Come on,
I'm
give
working
it
myself
up.
to make sure that the kids got a place to go, and I'm making
Bigger
sure that
image
there's
here.
Meals
Bigger
on
image.
Wheels for the elderly, karaoke, bingo night, you know, movie night for the elderly and everything for the elderly. But for the kids, make sure that they know that there's no future in the streets. There's no future in shooting guns. There's no future in violence. There's nothing for them. Gang lives matter and all of that retaliation stuff is not necessary. I want the kids to know that there's a program for them. Instead of sending them to jail, send them to Dibiase.
You heard this man.
You know what I'm saying?
TRP Fresh Face, the Royal Playlist. It's your girl Drea, Rell Dibiase, and we out.
Coming from where we come from, we don't really got that much options. A lot of people say that, but I'm from YO. I ain't even gotta put it in my bio. Niggas know that shit. This shit is really a whack place to be. But you can make it better.
914, Rell, Dibiase, bitches call me Poppy.
What?
They call me.
You ain't too, you crazy for that.
What? Shift the room, cause I know my value. I got principles, get in tune, cause they might just leave you in the visit room. Click like boom, all you left was blood. Yo, Rell, I think shooters. What? Yo, Louis shit. Rell, I think I know them bitches. Her name is Tatanlicious.
They be on conjugal visits.
Up north from them prisons, my niggas lost it, I witnessed. My niggas dogs and they vicious. I keep a knife in the trenches, lived in the projects of prisons. They didn't pay me a visit, now bitches paid me attention. I make them pay the admission, cause they gon' hate when you winning. I make them bitches apprentices, I hate when they use their children. That shit made me lose all feeling. My niggas hungry, they willing. They players empty, need millions, they just gon' rob a few victims. All on parole and convictions, this ain't no game, they want missions. Bet you they aiming a Smith and won't see who came or who did it. Most of your brain will be missing, should've just gave up the pension. All for the Benjamin Frank, just tell me now what was you thinking? Now that your brain is just hanging, we making all the arrangements. Cause new edition, need payments, usually stuck in the matrix. Usually going through phases, usually catching them cases. Usually fucking, not dating. If we pull up, we like Peyton. I keep me one in rotation. My life, there ain't no replacement. Last week was dating a Haitian. This week I'm dating my favorite. As fast she Spanish and Cajun, she Cherokee when she naked. I'm around action, I'm sacred. Came from the bottom, the basement. I feel like now I'm so ancient. Fuck all them pigs, they all racist. I'm sick of tired.